Welcome to the Beer Can Cold Podcast with your hosts Will Merritt and JG Van Graan, a podcast where the suction line is always beer can cold. Take it away, boys.
Episode number 20. A little bit different music.
Very nice.
We got applause. Found out we even we may have some laughter now. So I'm learning. It's coming. We're recording. We had record this time. So in 20 episodes, we've learned that we can play some music, we can hit record, and we have an applause button. I think we're good. I think we're professional now. So welcome back, everybody. Sorry we were gone for 2 weeks, but again, it's just kind of the end of summer and just kind of the way things go, and we're just both really busy at this point. So, but we're very excited. One of our old colleagues, Todd Smith, is with us today to talk about his new ventures and so forth. So, Will, has it been good? Has it been busy?
Yeah, it's crazy. We're hiring somebody. We had a second interview with him in person lunch today, and I talked to him this afternoon. He accepted. So
that's awesome. Well done. So Todd, welcome. We've known each other from way back Virginia Air days, I think. And so sure. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where have you been?
Where haven't you been? Probably been.
I bounced around a little bit, yeah. But meeting you guys in distribution was 35 years of my life was in distribution. But born and raised in the HVAC business, so that's I can't fix a car. That's all I know is HVAC. I've done everything from service tech to sales to distribution to just about every part of the HVAC side of the business. So a little bit of retail sales, commercial sales. But like Will said, I spent 35 years with Johnstone Supply and sold out in 19 and got out. And so kind of want to do some new adventures and played around back in the commercial side of the business did some rental business for a little while. And now I'm on the manufacturer side. I really like that. And I'm excited about this new adventure. I mean, I went from having thousands of things to sell to 3.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, that's simplicity. So let's dial it back a little bit.
50 employees to...
Let's go back a little bit further. So where are you from? Where's the nucleus of the world? Where is that centered?
Yeah. So Mr. Merritt and I went to the same high school, Madison, North Carolina. He was from Madison. I'm from Merritt. We do get along. We share the name of the school. So he's from Madison. I'm from Merritt. So small town, North Carolina. I live in just an hour away from there now, outside of Floyd, Virginia, Willis, Virginia, which is Southern Virginia. So just off the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Oh yeah.
You been to Primland lately?
I ride by it every other day. I haven't stopped.
We got to go up there. Lisa and I got to go a couple of months ago or whenever. I can't remember when it was. Probably longer than that. Just on a little from one of our vendors sent us up there for the weekend, and she's all into golf. So we stayed in one of the tree houses up there.
Oh wow.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, I've been up there. It's all been work events with you a couple of times. And so I'll give a little props to Primland if no one knows about it. It's in the Meadows of Dan, Virginia. Kind of go through Mount Airy, then you cross into Virginia, but it's beautiful. It's 200-300 acres. And they've got a golf course. They've got chucker hunting, pheasant hunting, trout fishing, ATV riding, everything, spa there, and it's beautiful. So we all excited to play golf. We get up Saturday morning and the fog's so thick you can't see 20 feet. And it did not lift until like the end of the day.
Oh boy.
So we did not get to play.
I've had that happen to me there once. But the fog is and even up the road, Old Mill can be the same thing. It's off the road, same thing, the fog advisory there. I mean, you're hitting off mountaintops. It's beautiful. I mean, it's, like Will said, I rented that place completely out. I think there's 56 rooms in the actual hotel, and then there's cottages and cabins. But we did 3 dealer meetings over the years, and everybody was coming back on their own because this place is amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. It's not that hard to get to, but no, we were disappointed, so we gotta go back. But so we come from we like to call it kind of the origin or the center of the universe is Madison and Mandan, it's where everything started. Everything.
Yeah,
That's
we're
awesome.
about 20 minutes outside of Greensboro, between Greensboro and Martinsville. So,
Yeah, little town. But I used to know. Actually, when I first went out into sales, Todd's dad, their company, I used to call on. They were a York dealer. I used to sell to them, and then we used to go over at high school and watch your brother play. And Eric's brother, they had a band and they did a lot of Rush covers and stuff. So we just go over and hang out and watch them practice and stuff. So that's how far it goes back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when the fog is this heavy on a golf course, do you just then tee off on the 19th hole at like 8 a.m.?
That's what we did. There was nothing to do. I mean, where we stayed, there was literally a green 50 yards from where we stayed. It was a par 3, and you could barely make the flag out.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had actually, some guy came through as it started to thin. It was still ridiculous, but a couple of people were out there playing. I'm surprised they let him out just because of you could drive off a cliff on that golf course.
You can't see anything. It's dangerous for anybody too. It's you don't even want to drive the golf cart around there.
Yeah.
It's the way that it's a beautiful place though when it's clear though. It's I get the pleasure of driving by it every other day just about, but it's they've got a lot of mountain project. That mountains project on the top side is they're putting a 4-lane highway up a mountain, and they've literally moved mountains, and millions of trees have been moved and cut. So it's
they're building stuff out there. It looks like they were building some more houses, and
they can stop doing that. Be fine with me, but
yeah, I agree. But I mean, like we're the place we stayed, JG. It said you've got to have 4-wheel drive, and it was like a washed out dirt road. I mean, it was kind of sketchy to get there.
So the first town I lived in the United States was Bluefield, Virginia.
Yeah.
And so I go, Bluefield and well, actually Virginia, West Virginia, the farm I worked on was right on the border. Yep. Yeah. And so actually I'm up there cooking for a wedding for about 100 people next weekend. So I'll be back up here. I really enjoy the mountains, man. I like being up there. It's just different, It's really a nice place.
Yeah, I like to go up to Bluefield and Blue Whale and ride ATVs. I go a couple times a year up there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I worked on that farm right on 460. When you turn into Bluefield, the farm right up on the left-hand side. I worked there for 2 years. Actually, my friend still has horses up on that farm and so forth. So it's really a cool place, man. I enjoyed living there. I'd actually moved my wife's family moved from Washington D.C. back to Bluefield. And so they love it there. It's just quiet and, it's very picturesque. Yep, absolutely. So HealthWay, tell us a little bit about that.
It's funny. I had no clue what HealthWay was until I hired someone from HealthWay. And when I spent some time the last year or so in New England with Bell Simons, had 28 locations up there. And so I decided to go up there for about a year and a half, and I'd hired a guy from HealthWay, and I had no clue what they were. And he was telling me, we're an air quality company. We're one of the oldest. We're, like we have things in our equipment is in every school system in New York and Rockefeller Center and Procter & Gamble's test labs. I'm like, I never heard of you.
Yeah. And when you told me about it, I'm like, who? What?
Yeah, never heard of you. And then that was funny. I had got a call from someone else from my past who had said, hey, look, I just interviewed for this job, but I'm not the guy. They need somebody with more HVAC knowledge to those contractors. And you should get him. I said, who is this HealthWay? I said, this is the second time I've heard this name in the last couple of months, and I have no clue. But it was very interesting. I've learned, I felt like when you're in, at my age and you've been in HVAC your entire life, you feel like you don't know it all, but there's not a lot that can stump you. And I've been selling air quality products, which is what HealthWay is. We're an air quality company. We've been supplying clean air solutions for 30 years in the commercial industry.
Okay, I know that.
And so what I didn't know was anything about air quality. I've sold UV lights and I've sold media filters and I've sold electronic air cleaners my entire career in distribution, but not really knowing the benefits. Clean air, it's all you need to know. But HealthWay is a different company. We're all about air quality. And again, when I say we offer 3 products, We have they were in commercial until last year. So when they hired me, it was to come on and say, listen, we want to have a residential line. We have a product, and we have 2 new products, which is some filter media cabinets that are coming out. And we know that the industry is just not educated. So we just need to find some partners that we can educate to get out there and sell some products. So I was like, it's going to be a big learn. I thought it wasn't going to be a learning curve. I was like, air quality, man. I've been selling equipment. And listen, I sold Goodman in the 90s.
and you sold York, and you sold York during a coal crisis, didn't you?
I got my ass beat 3 days a week. So yeah. So no, I was like, air quality. Yeah, man, I can sell media filters. So what I didn't learn is just the breakdown of it. I mean, the actual science behind air quality and what we don't know. And since being in air quality, I've ripped up every bit of carpet in my house. I really have. And the more I've learned about these things, and yeah, I mean, we provide air quality solutions residentially, and it's a simple thing that we have an electronic air cleaner we have doctors and all over the United States telling everybody it's called SuperV. If you want the cleanest air that you can have in a residential home or even light commercial, you need to go find a SuperV. We do not sell to the public. We sell portable units to the public. We have portable units. So like you'll see plugged up here, this little black one here. We have portable room to room, and they're online. This particular one's not, but you can buy those all day long online, Amazon, everywhere, and they're great. Most of them are HEPA filters. Most people know that name and name only. But we actually have electronic air filter, which is, I didn't know I was doing this. I always keep my offices, man. I do it for y'all. But this is our super, and it has the DFS technology, disinfecting filtering system. And we're not HEPA. But HEPA's 99%, we're 98.5 without HEPA. So it's a filtration, electronic versus filtration. It's not for every home. This is an electronic powered. It takes space. As you can see, this is the smallest one we have, and that's 22 inches. So, basements are no problem, but the world I come from, when you have attics and those kind of things, if you have the space, it goes on the return side only. I mean, I was like, when I went to work for these guys, I was like, I've been selling it for years, but seeing is believing for me. Mm-hmm. And I believe that almost everything. It's all right. If you can prove it to me, then I'm in. And so they said, well, I said, how am I going to market with this with air quality when I've been selling it 25 years? And what I learned was I've worked for multiple distributors, and I know a lot of people in the industry. Johnstone Supply, I know people in every state. So I started doing some research before taking the job. So I knew where I was working in New England. I talked to my friends at Virginia Air, where we all were. I talked to Detroit, Johnstone. I talked to California, Johnstone. I said, hey, listen, how has your air quality business been in all products since COVID? Everybody was down since COVID. So I said, damn, do I want to take this job? Yeah. But then I was like, so I went to these guys and said, listen, how do you hire a guy like me and tell me that this is going to be my life and this is all we build? All we have is these things. And the industry's down in distribution. They said, well, it's education. I said, I get it. Tell me how. So we have a particle counter, which is something I said, I've heard the term, what is it? So we have particle counters that we sell, and it's an actual meter that you walk into the home and you test the air quality based on the particulate size. And we have particulate charts that we go everything from a dust that you can see to the small ones that you can't, like viruses and mold. Yeah. So, what proved it for me was I said, sell me and I can sell it. And they said, okay. Well, we walked into a room, we took an air particle meter, and they bring this thing out and they go, hey, I'm going to show you the air quality in this room, and here's the particles. And I said, all right, I got a particle chart. So dust is 0.3, and there's all these small ones. They had a more sophisticated one than I have, but it was the same machine. Anyway, they showed me that, and I said, okay, the air's dirty. How do I prove to my contractor they can clean it? So they take out a portable, and they hold it over top of the portable. This portable is 98% of particle at 0.3. So they showed me how this meter dropped. And I said, okay. So I'm not selling portables, though. You tell me I'm on the ducted side. They said, yeah, we can do that with 3 machines. We can do this with a electronic air cleaner SuperV, or we can do it with a MERV 16 filter mini pleat cabinet, just a slide-in 4-inch cabinet. We get the same results. And I said, Now I get it.
Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you, it's a great story to tell to a contractor because, they have to be able to prove it. Again, people I have seen in the service world, so many electronic air cleaners, that aren't even working. They're not even hooked up anymore. People put UV bulbs in for years and never replaced them.
Yeah.
We have equipment. This SuperV is a 3-year filter change. Every 3 years you change the filter. On our media cabinets, it's 1 year. So that's a great selling. Tell a homeowner and what I have contractors. My sales pitch to contractors is, we have a MERV 13 also, which has carbon for smells. Anybody has pets, anybody has any kind of anything. And believe me, I've learned that it doesn't matter what it is. You cooked last night and I crank my portable up to turbo and it goes away. Before you live with it for 24 hours, it's just life.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to learn more about air quality when you thought, and what I see is contractors, the best contractors, they don't know either. They think it's expensive. They think it's something that homeowners don't want to hear. But what I'm learning is even the people that I know, the more I talk about it, they go, I didn't know that. I didn't know that hair follicles can go into my body. I didn't know that I'm breathing all these things. These VOCs that come from all your cleaners, everything you have in your house has a smell. They don't realize how they affect the body. So we have presentations that we show the small particles go in the bloodstream. So when you get below 0.3, these are viruses. Hey, look, we were the #1 company during COVID. That's when we shined because that is what took us to the top. We were the #1 overrated company. HealthWay was. Again, we're a commercial product. They didn't have a residential line. So this SuperV can be used up to 7.5, but it really was still high end. We have influencers out there. I'm kind of working on whether that's a good place for us or not. We have a lot of doctors that are out talking about us, health affiliates that are going out on podcasts. I just had a call a lady today. She said she was in New England. She said, "Hey, listen, I'll follow this Dr. Ruth something, not Dr. Ruth we're talking about, but the other one." And she was like, listen, she promotes this product on her podcast. And she said, I'm trying to find it. So I reached out to a contractor I knew there and he gave her a quote, shipping Monday. So, yeah. So it's the more education that you have on this product, it's a no-brainer and it's simple.
So I'm a contractor and I'm general manager or operations manager for a contractor. I'm not a contractor. So the thing is that we have these conversations with our technicians all the time, right? And so it's true what you say, it's education, but it's really hard to get these guys that is not super sales orientated all the time, that is actually seeing more of our customers to kind of get hipped to this, this idea that you're not selling the customer something they don't really need. Todd, I know you've been hit with this before. How do we convince, and I know like we can see on the particles and stuff, but have you been able to get these guys to buy in? Your hardened technician that just wants to go out there and sell these things, what's the advice for that?
We've had, so this is a new product and I've had a room of the most one, I need an air cleaner. I have a 145-pound Great Pyrenees who's trying to get in the door. But yeah. So, we've had a room full of, these guys are making money by selling, right? The world has changed to tech sales guys, right? So years ago, it was you had your retail sales guy that went out, the technician diagnosed, send someone else out. And these days they've turned it, which I totally agree with. If you can teach them how to sell with that knowledge they have, they can do it because that's who they trust, right?
Yep.
The room full of people that I've been in so far with this product, it's all about, they say the same thing. Listen, my company pays me to sell air quality. I don't. I say, why? Because people don't care. They don't want it. But when I show them this tool and say, well, could you take them and show them, also show them these charts? This is not something they can Google say this guy's lying. Hey, look what a 0.03 particle is. Yeah. Oh, it's dust. You can see it. So the feedback that we got is, if I got that tool, and this is exact, if I've got that tool, and we suggest they do take a portable, even, I'm on the ducted side. We sell portables. We sell thousands of portables. I say I would take one of these for $300 in every sales call. I've got some guys that said, listen, and I actually talked to Will about this because, I started I had pretty much, I live in Virginia, but I'm the only HVAC guy And I'm getting calls every day from Texas. Texas is a big portable market for us. But I'm starting at hometown, right? I know a lot of contractors. I've been dealing with contractors and helping them with their business for 35 years in this area. So I'm calling everybody I know, and I say, listen, who in your town is promoting in any advertising? We test air quality every time we're in your home. Everybody's going, nobody. Or I can't find anybody. Now, there are air quality companies that are in business.
Yeah.
Duct cleaning companies, they get this. Now, they get how to do it. Some of them, it's a great, and I've told everyone, so we have a big portable business with us, and it's through a carpet cleaning company, a big one, because they're in the home. You know, water testing, water treatment, that's our biggest portable companies because they're in the home testing water. They understand bacteria. They understand particles. They understand how to clean it with UV and things like that. So the HVAC guys have missed the boat. This is their world. I mean, they're, again, a media cabinet is, it's 6-8 inches to cut out. Ours is 18 gauge steel. Our competitors, the other guys, they're using aluminum. Those things get cockeyed. If you've ever opened to change the 4-inch filter, they have the tabs or they're broken off. I've heard multiple times, or they're duct tape. Well, ours has a magnetic door, 18 gauge steel. It doesn't, it's sealed with gaskets. If any air goes around that filter, we've lost what we're trying to do. Yeah. So, it's education, and that's what I learned. And that's what I'm telling HealthWay now. We're looking at like, well, listen, my arms are only so wide. They're like, okay, we'll go build a team. So I'm excited about that. We're like, hey, if it's working and what we're saying is working, then let's spread the word. Let's go get more guys. And we do choose right now to go direct to the contractor. I do have some distributors that are interested, and our arms are only so wide. So it may be something we go with certain distributors in the market. It just depends on the contractor base. I only have 3 things to sell, so I need to sell a lot of them to a lot of different people. So, but it comes with training. I mean, we have a great little training that we do, and some people think, well, I don't need to do training on a filter. You actually do need to do training on a filter because you really don't understand air quality until you understand everything you're breathing in. I mean, you taking as many breaths a day as to fill a swimming pool.
Wow.
That's a lot. And what you're breathing in, believe me, you don't understand it until you really get some education on it. So that's the world I'm in. I mean, they've been treating air solutions. And like I said, some of these like testing labs, Procter & Gamble, baseball, home office in New York City schools bought 500,000 portables last year.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and to the point, I think that having the tool is probably one of the most powerful things you can have, right? Because then you're having an educated conversation, and there's not the I think or I, it's right there. It's
here, see it,
black and white.
Watch. Yeah.
What is, Todd? Now that you're in this industry, what do you see the future? Is there any AI that's coming into your market, like the things that you guys are doing? Is there anything on the horizon you guys are talking about there? Because I'm in several leadership groups, and that seems to be the message from everybody is like, you better embrace this AI stuff because it's coming.
Well, I think we do have some things coming out. HealthWay, this has opened up a whole new window. First of all, we do not at all say that you don't need some other type of UV equipment to treat the coil. We're about capture, right? Mm-hmm. We're about, our SuperV, we have to be careful saying we kill COVID and viruses. We trap them on a grid and they die. Mm-hmm. So we catch things. There's still a need. I do believe our future will be into also bringing some products to do some treating of the coil. There's a lot about, our 13 MERV with the charcoal filter and the testing we're doing about what it removes in the home and how it can remove all these smells. And like I said, pets and anything you would have, somebody who cooks a lot, whatever kind of food you cook. I can see us dumbing that down a little bit in the near future and having some other type of filter medias with that product. I'm excited, maybe a smaller SuperV. Yeah, there's a possibility because the technology we have in the SuperV is untouched. And if we can somehow physically get it smaller and get it into some of these applications that we can't, because again, the market is 10% electronic, and it's 30% filter media, and the rest is 1 inch doing nothing. I mean, MERV 13 doesn't pull any particles. It's not even rated.
Yeah.
MERV 11, I'm sorry. MERV 11 doesn't even rate. So,
yeah.
And that's what majority of people, high-end builder homes, that was one of the things I wanted to reach out to some, and they are interested. They're like, listen, you're building green homes, you're building clean homes, but you're putting a 1 inch filter.
No, they don't know. That's the thing. They don't know. I mean, they're like higher end homes are doing, I've heard people tell me, oh yeah, these custom builders, they're encapsulating crawl spaces as standard, and even spray foam sometimes.
Yep. And they're even bringing in ERVs are required in New England now. And even that air, I mean, you still have to wait to treat that. So we're all about capturing it before. I think the future of it is, I think it's going to be more and more. I mean, I got excited about this because I'm thinking, when I see I know contractors. I was raised by one of the knuckleheads, right? It's an industry that you have to prove it, and when you can prove it, one, profitable, and we do. We put scenarios of what you should charge for this. The guessing game's out with us. I mean, you charge what you want, but we know from what we're testing that a media filter should be in this price range. A SuperV electronics should be in this price range. So, we try to help the contractor with it, but the more exposure we're getting from homeowners calling the contractor, which today I made 5 calls to contractors in different areas who had a homeowner in the area. And I said, hey, they want this SuperV. They want this media filter. And they were like, tell me about it. Send it to them. They go, all right, I'll quote it. Yeah. I'll send them a training video, let them go through it. And so, hope that's return business. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Now, I know you said that, I think you said the one filter, a 3-year filter, and the other one's a 1-year filter, right? Filter change. So, like in North Carolina, I know that one of the big reasons IAQ doesn't always get sold on the filtration side is because the units are only in attic crawl space. Customers don't really ever get to see their units. It's all in filter grills, right? So is there a filter grill type of option, or is it in the duct at the unit pretty much, other than your loose standing units?
It's in the duct. So we have the lowest static pressure in the industry as well. So everybody's always concerned about static pressure with media filters. We're not even close to anyone in our industry. Our static pressures that we've tested, this mini pleat technology that we have, every contractor that we show the charts to, they're like, really? That's the static you're getting off this. So, what I tell everybody, the filter grill is gonna have. I would put a 1 inch poly in there and use my melted filter. I wouldn't leave it empty. It's that 1 inch poly is not going to hurt us at all. It's not going to give any stop. Yeah, we do not have a filter grill option. So it's on the return side. It's close to because there's 2 parts of this: the equipment protection. So we're giving a 12-year clean coil guarantee if you put any of our equipment on there, either media filter or the SuperV. So if you have to clean your coil within 12 years. We pay $200 towards that. So I know April Air has a 10-year 100. It's the reason I did a 12-year 200. But it's all about keeping your equipment clean as well. I mean, again, blowers are clean. Everything is clean when you do this, and it's more your device, your equipment lasts longer. So it's more benefits than just air quality. It's equipment protection.
I agree. And, the big thing is understanding the duct sizing coming into that unit. And I'm very happy to hear you guys are so low static, because that's the biggest issue. We worked for Virginia Air for how long? You get that guy keep popping compressors. The first thing you go to is how does he size his returns, right? And that's how you find the static problems, pretty much.
Well, the majority of the contractors, I like to ask that question. On your installs, on your placement, how many of your replacement installs are you replacing total duct systems?
or upsizing the return?
Now they may cut a return in, but they're not even giving me numbers. They're like,
they don't want to know
the cost of equipment now. The efficiency cost of equipment now. I mean, you're adding another done right. You're adding another $5,000-$6,000 worth of duct system, and or higher. Yeah, done right.
No, it's a thing, and just as a service notice, a 2-ton unit does not get a 14-inch flex. Like let's just put it out there.
Really? I came from a sheet metal family. Flex was used when it had to be.
It had to be.
It was always the trunk system on there.
No, that's true. No, that's very, very true. Where can so I know homeowners are finding you. How does our dealers find you? How does people get in touch with you?
Well, I mean, HealthWay.com is the best place to find us. I mean, obviously, we're starting out with. I'm looking for select contractors. That's my goal. I'm looking for someone in a market who, I dealt with a dealer base for a long time. It's always like, who's my competition? Well, in the distributor world, you're like, well, how much you going to buy? In my world, it's like, how many zip codes can you serve, and are you going to offer on every job? I mean, my suggestion, and this is working with at least 2 contractors so far, is to buy our 13 MERV filter cabinet, put it on every install, and offer an upgrade for a 16 MERV, and even a bigger upgrade with space for the upgrade for the SuperV. But I think going to our website, doing some research. I'm going to be the HVAC guy. It's going to come straight to me if they reach out. I'm looking for the contractors in every market. I'm not looking for every contractor because I don't think everyone's going to go out there and use this particle counter and promote our product. I think the guys that are in the home and care about selling and service and air quality, I think that they'll get it. So yeah, our website's the best place to reach out, and I'll get that direct.
Yeah, it's a differentiator. I mean, I think that's where a lot of contractors, that especially the good ones, they're not going to win the price game. They're not going to be the low guy. And so they're looking for other things. And, we all know, this industry gets caught up in price way too much. And, the guys that go out and like, if you say, hey, this is what you're breathing in. And it blew me away learning a little bit about it, Todd, about the stuff that's so small that goes in your bloodstream, that you breathe, they're so tiny, they're microscopic basically, and you're breathing them in, then they're getting into your blood. And it's probably related to so many things that are killing our health these days, from the food, the air quality. So
it's everything from headaches to snoring. I mean, these things are that I'm learning about this. I mean, I've put one in every room in my house since going to work here, and anyone who comes in my house, again, I have a big dog, but anyone who comes in my house, they see a difference. And I'm telling you, the benefits of the air quality that I had no clue what they affect. It's crazy. And again, the everybody's scared of mold, right? And when these things are capturing and taking mold out of the equation, that's a fear that people always say, is there mold here? Is there mold in the attic? Is there mold in the house? So anyway, it's enlightening. And
the answer is yes.
And to tell the story and people start learning, like Will said, to see these things that hit your blood system, how they affect you. People are financing these days percentage anyway. And when you talk about protecting life and protecting, especially when you have asthmatic children or you have anybody with any type of health issue, it's a no-brainer for the money, especially the media filter.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, the 16, we rated at 95. We have test labs in New York. So that's another thing. We are built in, they say it wrong, but it's Pulaski, New York. They call it Pulaski. But anyway, New York, that is where our equipment is built. And we have test labs there. And that 16 MERV filter is getting 98 in our test labs. So we market it at 95, but you're talking about 99 with power and a significant price difference versus a media filter with microfleet that is getting 98% particulate. So it's removal. It's kind of a no-brainer for the guys that get it.
Right.
Yeah. American built. I think that's a big thing too. But Todd showed it to me a few weeks ago. We had lunch together. Just JG, he was talking about earlier. Most of the cabinets are kind of flimsy.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's rock solid.
Yeah, I mean,
magnetic door. It's all sealed. No air is getting around it.
You can hear. I can hardly get this door off. Again, this is 18 gauge, right?
Yep.
So it's built. It's not going to twist. But this magnetic door that you get off, see the gaskets. I mean, this thing is these guys don't even put the screws back in these things when they change them.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and tell you cannot buy another filter at Home Depot or anywhere else like you can. Our competitors, you can go get Honeywell, April Air, all those filters you can buy a replacement at Home Depot. You cannot ours. So there's a benefit to a contractor to say, listen, I'm going to put this in for you. I'm going to put this filter on an agreement for you. You buy the filter from me. I come back and replace it. And it's 1 year. So it's actually 1 year to 18 months. We are just telling everybody 1 year because it's different. 18 months is our testing. Our literature does say 12 to 18 months. Okay. But it's the home. It's hard to tell everybody 18 months because, again, you got 5 cats and 7 dogs and 4 stinky children. That's right. And you cook a lot. It's not going to work. But the literature will say 12 to 18 months.
Okay. Yeah, and I like the fact that it's exclusive, right? So they're not running down the road to pick it up. And I'm sure this is a dumb question, but I'm sure all several duct sizes, right? So you're going to have your 16 by 20, 20 by 20, that type of thing, right? So that makes it very, very nice.
We built specifically to those sizes: 16 by 20, 16 by 25, 20 by 20, 20 by 25, 25 by 20.
Yeah, those are the 4 or the 5. That's right.
Yeah. And again, this is built to where with the 18 gauge where you can set the furnace on top of it. You bolt it right to the side of it. I mean, I haven't seen the worst part about these things in the past was the twisting and trying to get the filters out. We have little tabs that pull our filters out. What people don't know, every time you touch one of these media filters, that you're damaging it. Every time you touch the media filter, people are taking it with their hands and they're sliding it in. So it's just so many things you learn that you didn't know. And it's a niche. I mean, I think it's a niche. It shouldn't be a niche. I just think it's all people ask me, so why did you choose to do that? I said, well, it intrigued me because I was educated and I feel like I can share that message because, man, you don't know what you don't know. And when you start looking at something and if I was in the HVAC business today, man, I would run with it and I would promote it. Again, I would have it on billboards. I'd have Will doing commercials. Every time we come in your home, we test your air quality. Yeah. If we're in for a service call, we test your air quality. If we come for a sales call, we test your air quality. So it's a good sales pitch and it's a revenue stream.
Yeah, and that's the big thing is too, as expensive as systems are getting and expensive as all the stuff, to find the little add-ons to help push the margin up just a little bit is very important for contractors. And I'll echo that all day long. For sure.
And equipment protection too. I mean, you're investing $30,000 now in an HVAC system. You should do your best to protect it.
That's right. No, absolutely.
Yeah. How many evap coils are really getting clean?
None. Well, I'd say none.
So there's cleaning evaporator coils by
0.0.
And there's taking a coil out and taking the plate off and cleaning it. So there's spraying a coil off and there's cleaning a coil. There's a difference.
So
it's hard. I know.
My middle son is in heating and air, and I will never forget the first time he came across one of those where he actually peeled the inside of the coil off. And pulled this whole thing after they pulled the coil out. He's like, I don't even know how people live like this.
And how they breathe. When you see what we see, and think about what you breathe. And I spent the majority of my youth in the business lining duct.
Yes.
And I spent the later years of my life wrapping duct because when you start taking out 20-year duct systems and that liner that was 1 inch thick is gone, all that fiberglass, where'd it go?
That's why I had my duct systems wrapped. I said, I do not want any internal insulation.
Where did it go?
In your lungs.
The dead mouse carcasses because it was nice, comfortable.
Oh, yes, a comfortable place for a nest. But I think there's a couple key things here, people, is it's proof. I mean, you can show somebody. It's like proof's in the pudding. The old saying, "Hey, here's how dirty your air is." Like when Todd was doing a presentation for a contractor I know. I mean, God, what was it? 30 million particles in the air in their conference room, and we got it down to 20,000 or something in a matter of 30 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, with a portable. And this is a rooftop unit serving that thing, so it really made a difference. But that being able to prove it and show people that all right, this is what's really happening, this is what we're removing, and then the having the ability to buy it exclusively. The homeowner cannot go buy it, and that's a big thing. That was one of the first things this contractor asked, like, can you buy it on Amazon? And because everybody wants to buy everything on Amazon, so Even wait, Todd Smith. He's trying to buy a system on Amazon. I told him no.
I mean, room-to-room machines are being sold every day, and there were lots of them. I mean, even before here, I had a couple small ones, in my home. I have an older farmhouse where I'm at now, and I didn't even have the particulars of it. I just knew that this was an older home, and I wanted, it was dusty and that kind of thing. So they're being sold every day. But what people don't understand is, I mean, you can put a $300 to $500 portable in every room, or you can just put it in your whole house.
That's right. Todd, what about light commercial rooftops, that type of thing? Do you guys deal with that as well?
So our SuperV will go to 16 to 7.5 ton.
Okay.
So it's a 3,000 CFM's our largest. But when it comes to a rooftop, if you can get it in the duct system close to the return, it'll work. It's just getting this. I mean, immediate cabinet doesn't care. I mean, as long as you put as many of those in the commercial applications as you want. We were into the commercial banking of this product. This SuperV was banked on walls. It was banked, and that world they lived in for a long time. And backing off of some of that commercial investing in residential is where the companies decide to go. So it's the technology has allowed us to be able to take all that we were doing in medical grade facilities and put it in our home.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
I think here's an interesting thought though, is, and I've heard this too about indoor air quality sales are down since COVID. So we all come from distribution. We all sold multiple products, all the big names over the years. And, it seemed like it was a pretty consistent thing. And then it skyrocketed during COVID. And to now hear that it's like gone, it's just interesting that like everybody was freaking out. You're wearing a mask in your car by yourself and, all this stuff. And now
one.
I wasn't. I never wore. I mean, where am I going? Where I go? We're not going.
I traveled in the airport. I didn't have a choice. But yeah, I didn't wear it in the car with others. But yeah, I mean, really, it doesn't make any sense. And that's the first thing I said to these guys. I said, why are we not more conscious of it now? It's the contractor. It's the education. I mean, why every homeowner's not saying, but I don't know that they realize they can be treated, that the air can be treated. I don't know that people realize that you can do this. You can catch this before it has the ability to get in your body. Yeah. I think portable sales went out of the roof, and now the portable market is not the market that I'm talking about. Distributors selling HVAC ducted product, UV lights, media filters, those kind of things. The portable world has blown up. People just don't realize you can put it in the duct system because HVAC contractors are not
talk about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
No. They're missing the boat. I'm here to help.
We need to get the education out there. We need to get the word out for sure.
Yeah, and here's another anecdotal thing, just like talking about showing people and the proofs in the pudding is you're telling me, Todd, like you take that pleated thing, how long it is.
Yeah.
I was saying that would be a great, commercial visual YouTube video. How long is it? How
it's 50 square. Yeah, it's 50. So the closest comparative we have is 32 feet of filter media pulled out. We're 50.
Wow.
So it's crazy to take these mini pleats and to see when you pull this out how far. We actually do have that on a video coming out. We just shot that. Then actually cutting the cat, pulling it versus some of the other filter media. So, and of course everybody knows the more material, the better. And as a filter gets full, it gets even better, more efficient.
Surface area. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
It's very interesting.
We have one more very important question, Todd. This is like probably the crux of our podcast questioning, and this stumps a lot of people. So we just wanted to know, you live in the Virginia mountains.
Right.
Have you run across Bigfoot?
Do you have a meter that detects Bigfoot?
No, but
Yeah. So seeing is believing.
I got a bullshit meter. Like, I don't know if that.
well,
I have seen mini bear, but I have not seen Bigfoot.
So there was a Bigfoot festival in August in Marion.
We should go, Will.
Well, my friend, remember Steve from the beach in May, one of my good friends from college. He actually grew up in Greensboro, Todd, and they were members at Deep Springs, and his dad and my mom went to college together and knew each other at Guilford. But he's a diehard Bigfoot guy. So this is where this whole thing started. on our podcast, but he told me about it. And all of a sudden he sends a picture all like on our group chat that he's at the festival. I'm like, dude, why didn't you say something? I would have gone. I forgot about it.
That seems like a really fun thing to just take a couple cold ones and walk around and just
Well,
watch people.
it's like a festival, like the streets blocked off, and you got some people that are really out there. People like us that just kind of have fun with it.
For those who know the area, I mean, I'm 7 miles from Blue Ridge, from Mabry Mill, and there's Buffalo Mountain here, which a lot of people hike. It's now a state park. I can see it. I'm 2 miles from there. I hear a lot of stuff. I haven't seen anything. The bears I was actually grilling on my deck when a bear just popped in the creek. I walked out about a 400-pound bear, and took a sniff at me and kept walking, which I was glad because I was going to keep cooking. So I've seen 5 or 6 bear, but other than that, no big.
Yeah, but you're not going to see him. He's going to want to have you see him, right? It's that whole thing. No, it's funny. And so I've been having a lot of fun with it because I learned how to create those AI videos that you see on TikTok. So we were sitting down in our company meeting a little while ago. We're an EOS company, so we do these L10 meetings. And I said, I just want to share this. So we go through our core values. And I actually had Bigfoot pop up on the screen and do the core values, but do a funny part of it, And they just all looked at me like, you have gone completely too far now.
You got to have fun with it. I mean, we're just having fun.
I don't know what to believe now when I see it. I see things. I'm like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nothing. Yeah, it's hard to
No, yeah.
know
so
what's real and what's not.
We're doing a lot of that kind of just fun things. But the Bigfoot thing has actually been quite fun. I think it's dying a slow, regrettable death on this podcast.
Well, we started it, and then this whole thing went viral on the internet, and all these memes, and Bigfoot's doing this, and he's out with Yeti, and it went too extreme. But we take credit for starting all of it. So
it's funny. I spent the last year working in New England, which Maine and those guys, and I would go out with the TMs that I hired. And they'd say, all right, so we're going, I'd see these signs that said, watch out for moose. And I'd say, what the hell did that say? They say, oh, this road, I see one every time I'm on it. So I spent a year, I'd never seen a moose. So I'd always tell them, they'd say, hey, they'd call me and say, I seen a moose today. I said, did it have a leprechaun on its back?
Yeah, Bigfoot riding it.
So since I've left, I actually got one video. I had 16 sales guys there. I had one video. He sent me a moose. So I'm a believer now. I said, look, because every time I'd go to Maine, everywhere they'd say, oh, we're going to see one today, Todd. They're always here. They're always here. I was like, never seen one. Because if I'd have seen one, I'd just wrecked instantly. I would just wreck. I don't care what side of the road it's on. They're huge.
Yeah.
No, Maine is a bucket list for me. I really want to go. I heard it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
It is beautiful. It was all of it. I mean, I lived in Old Saybrook there for a little while. Rhode Island all the way up to the coast. Just beautiful area.
Yeah.
Food's great.
That's Massachusetts up there.
They don't like the Southern accent, but other than that, the food's great and everything.
They wouldn't even understand me then, probably.
Oh, I got some looks. I've told a story before. Will's probably heard it. My dad was obviously a contractor for many years, and when I got into
Contractors Incorporated, CCI.
When I got into the sales business, he says, "Yeah, it's a tough sale." He said, you got enough mouth to do anything. He says, but you got to be different. And I said, well, what do you mean? He says, so I remember one sales guy, and this was when he was been in business for 30 years. I remember one sales guy. I'll never forget his name. I said, what did he do? He said, he wore red shoes. He said he wore red penny loafers. He says, and I'll never forget him, but every rest of them, they come and go. So I told the guys when I went to Connecticut, I said, I started calling contractors, and they would call in and say, hey, that guy from the South, can you send him back over here? I was like, so I'm a little different going in there. So, you got to have something, right? Yeah.
Can you guys remember, was it Wes at Virginia Air that sent the guy the red phone? Did you hear that story? I think it was Wes in Virginia. So
Wes Randolph. Well, he's in Charlotte now, still.
Yeah,
right?
He is. But I think this is in his Virginia days, and I think it's Wes. I think he wouldn't mind if I tell the story, and I hope I get it right. But he had this contractor that he was really trying to get in with, and the contractor wouldn't give him time of day, and he was very persistent. So what he ended up doing is he bought like this old red rotary phone that is like a replica of what the president would have on his desk.
Wow.
So he mailed it to the guy, and with a note that said, "Listen, if you pick this up and you push this button, it's a direct call to me." And Wes was, smart enough to answer the phone when he called, and he said, "Listen, man, this is your direct line to me." And contractors flipped to him, and did business with him forever. So it was that hook. That's that one thing he did that was special. But I always thought that was a pretty funny story.
Be different, be special, be persistent. Eventually, I always told my guys, eventually you keep walking in, they're going to say, "What do you sell?"
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're in here all the time. So.
Well, they we all, like I said, we were selling some brands that were sometimes tough to sell. Yeah. And I won't go any further than that. We all know what I'm talking about. Yep. But it was about persistence, and it was so funny. We'd go in and they're selling one of the whatever major brands. Like I hadn't seen my TM in 3 months. I'm like, what? So we would win just by sheer attrition. Going there, showing up, and doing whatever was needed. So it's interesting. I still hear that today, not everywhere, but a lot of people, they're like, nah, they ever since COVID, like they don't even come around anymore. I'm like, what do these guys do sometimes? And no offense, we don't travel like we used to. We do a lot of Zoom meetings, video stuff. So I miss it. We're traveling in a couple of weeks up to Illinois, to the Quad Cities, Jackson, Kirsten, and I, and we're staying in a haunted hotel.
Oh boy!
So
awesome.
we've stayed there before. It's called the Black Hawk Hotel. It's in Davenport, Iowa, and it's like a turn of the century. And the owner's daughter sent me a new thing, like these hidden rooms they found in there.
Staying in one of them?
No. But
was it creepy when you were there, or what?
A little bit. We went up. The big story is Cary Grant, the actor, died there. Oh. He was there and went to like a play or something, and started feeling bad. Came back and he died in one of the rooms on the 9th floor. So we went up to it, and it was kind of, I don't know. I've been researching it, and they're like different things. They see this lady on the 2nd floor. It's like a big open foyer, beautiful hotel. They see her walking around, and when we were there, I talked to some of the people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've seen different. The night people have seen stuff." So
look at the size of that boy.
Oh, that's the dog.
I know. I'm saying
that's 145-pound dog with a lot of hair.
He didn't shed, does he?
No, these are great parents. Yes, they should.
Yeah. So, maybe maybe that night you fire up the mic and we at least do a podcast, see if we get some distortion of video or something, or we lose signal. I would just blame it on nobody knows if you made it out or not, type of thing.
I would hope you would lose signal. That'd work out really well.
I like what you're thinking. We're going to be up there for 2 nights at the hotel.
Yeah, so I think maybe one night we see if there's, maybe stuff pops up behind you, or all kinds of things.
Well, I mean, you never. Jackson's like, he's like, I hope I catch something like on camera and stuff. But no, it's we're going up there to see them. Well, they're a good client of ours, Doug's Heating and Air Conditioning. They're in Moline, Illinois, which is one of the Quad Cities. But they're going to launch I don't know if it's going to be a podcast, but it's going to be something similar. It's the owner's name is Matt, and his son's Matt, and they sell fireplaces too. So we're going to create a little thing called the Fireside Chats with Matts.
Oh, very cool.
So they've been wanting to do it, and they're like, "We need your help." So like, all right, we're coming up there again. They're having a big meeting, so we're gonna get a bunch of pictures for social media and everything, and get to stay in the haunted hotel.
Yeah, that's
that'd be cool.
Fun trip. So Todd, one more time, real quick, just tell everybody where they can find you. So I want to make sure that we get this message out.
Yes.
Yeah. HealthWay.com. And like I said, it doesn't sound like air quality. It sounds like we're selling some type of anything else, but we have some people that like the benefit of the HealthWay, but HealthWay.com. You can find us. Like I said, we're providing air solutions for the home. And we appreciate you guys inviting us. Again, this is a new product. Home Defenders, what we're calling media filters. We're hitting the market with them now. Select contractors, and if you're a contractor that wants to be different, we can come and do a particle analyzer presentation for you. Talk to you a little bit about HealthWay and the benefits of the product. And I'd love to visit with as many of you as I can.
Yeah, we'll reach out to anybody out there. Remember, please to like and follow. We'll if anyone wants to shoot in a comment, we both got Todd's contact info, can hook you up directly. But contractors out there, again, think about this, guys and girls out there. It's it's about being different. Sometimes everybody's got a variable speed unit, this SEER rating, this AFUE on the furnace, and everybody gives great customer service. But having something different, it can be truly make a difference. And people may call you for this, and then you come out, they want indoor air quality. Well, they got an 18-year-old system, and then boom, there you go.
That's right. Well, guys, I do appreciate you inviting me, and enjoyed it, and look forward to doing it again at the haunted house when we invite you in.
Maybe.
Thanks, Tom.
Our machines do not take haunted out of your air.
Yeah, they can't trap ghosts like Ghostbusters, like the little thing.
Not that I know of.
Well, it hasn't been tested yet, so we don't know.
Maybe that's like the Home Defender 2.
One thing I will throw out there too, we'll bring that hotels up that I did forget to talk about was we have you may not know this, Marriott, Hilton, all the major, they all have air quality rooms with HealthWay equipment that you have to ask for. They are not publicized that they have clean air rooms, but they have our portables. Some of them have our SuperVs, but we have contracts with every one of them.
I just stayed in a crappy hotel last week.
Yeah, Marriott and Hilton will have it in their.
Well, this is a Marriott autograph hotel we're staying in, so I may ask when we check in.
You do have to ask. I know some of the guys I work with say they do it to them because a lot of times the people working there, we go, I think so.
I'm gonna.
And they may only have a couple.
I gotta ask.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys, and we will be back. Hopefully, I think we will be back next week. And so it was a great show today, Todd. Thank you for joining us, and we will see everybody later.
Good to see you guys again. Thanks, you guys.
Peace out.
All right. Bye.
Good job, guys.